What up, everybody's Anime Junkie here. Welcome to part 2 to What If Deku Had a Leveling System. And now, let's get to the intro.
I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Right in front of get myself a lamb color cuss for the game. Leave him hanging by his chain. Click bang, feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling sane. And it's slowly feeling flames, feeling fire from my brain, bringing more. Please still, no glory.
Okay guys, I'm so excited for this What If series. This is one of my favorite What If series again. And yeah, let's get started. So All Might goes to visit Deku in the hospital. This is the day where Deku is being discharged and stuff like that. So the nurse visits him and he's like, whoa, I didn't realize there was a really handsome guy here. And she asks for the number just like in the anime, or the manga I mean. And yeah, Deku just thinks, oh, she's probably gonna send me some paperwork or tests and stuff later, so sure, I'll give her a number. And then yeah, he gets out and All Might's like, why was he so secretive about his quirk? I wonder why. But he's a great candidate for my quirk. But he's not gonna give it to him because I don't want him to give it to him, because he's way too overpowered and he's gonna be growing every single day, and he can easily catch up to All Might's strength and speed and vitality and intelligence. Actually, he can surpass him with all of that. And not only that, it will be a waste, because some other person could have that quirk and be more successful with it than Deku right now, because he has already the potential, the unlimited potential of the solo leveling system, and now he has it and he can become the most strongest being in the My Hero Academia world. So Deku's discharged. He goes back to his house, and he goes back to his house at night because he still needs to do some paperwork in the hospital. So he sneaks in inside his house and basically sleeps and wakes up the next morning. He greets his mom, and his mom's like, did you get taller, Izuku? Wait, have you been working out? What are those abs? And she's really surprised and stuff, and she's like, okay, good for you. And she still thinks that Deku is quirkless and he can't do anything, but she's happy that he's keeping healthy and actually working on his body, except for just studying all those heroes and their quirks instead of actually doing something useful. So right now, Deku only looks good. He looks really good. He's in shape and everything like that, but he's still at level 1 in the system. So he has like dungeon key that he has to go through. He goes to the dungeon key, he learns everything, he fights those metal jaw, wolf flang, whatever they are, and they fight them, and the last boss, which is a serpent which has a lot of poison in it, and he defeats that and he gets his really iconic dagger that he has, that poisonous or paralyzing poisonous dagger, and whoever he cuts is immediately paralyzed. And if he wants them to bleed out to death, he can do that if he wants. He gets that dagger and he's like, okay, this is my main weapon of choice. And he's like, should I use this as a weapon to be a hero? I don't know if I can, but if it has paralyzing poison, I just need to cut my enemies a little bit and they'll be paralyzed so I can take them in. So I think it's useful, and it was created by my quirk, and I got it from a dungeon that was created by my quirk. So technically I'm allowed to use it in battle and in testing grounds. So yippee. So in these 10 months, Deku actually trains. Every time his daily quest comes up, he double achieves and he actually gets more requests or rewards. And this time he gets to choose out of 3 rewards. But if he actually completes a daily request, he'll still get score points no matter the cost. So if he double achieves, he'll get 10 points. If he just does a normal amount of workout or exercise, he gets 5 points. So yeah, he gets to choose out of 3 of them. First is status recovery, which completely heals his fatigue after the workout. That is a bonus, and it also basically helps him make his stat like 1 or 2 points higher or something. That is what status recovery actually does. Second one is gives you a extra 3 score points. So that's basically just giving you extra score points. That doesn't really do anything, but if you want, and if you're greedy for more score points, you can choose that option. And the third option is, it's relatively iffy if you actually do a lot of dungeon work like that and you've been leveling up really hard in battles and stuff. there'll be a skill in the third option, or if there's not, there's probably going to be another higher score point option where you get more score points. So if it's not a skill, it's probably something like extra score points, but if it's not an extra score points reward, it's probably going to be a skill like Bloodlust or Dominator's Hand, and this time it's actually a skill. It's Dominator's Hand. He can basically use the force or something. He can push, pull, and that's basically what he can do. So if he throws a dagger, he can basically use that Dominator's Hand to make it accelerate in midair without touching it at all. So that can also work, and he can also move enemies and like push them around in air, like telekinesis wise. He can do that, but if the enemy is too heavy or too strong for his level of Dominator's Hand, his own body will be pushed away. So it can also be used as that. Oh, and this system is also going to be changing his personality. He's going to be more calm and cool type of person now. He's not going to be that cheerful kid anymore. He's going to be the kid who's like calm and he actually thinks things over and then speaks. So that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the calm and cool type, just like the same character in the solo leveling universe. Oh, and let's just say, because of the story, let's say Deku's father is actually a pretty strong person. He's also out there in the mountains living like a barbarian and something like that. He's not gonna be in the city or any type of modern area. He's gonna be in those agriculture areas where the farmers are, and he's probably gonna be going around defeating strong enemies like a warrior back in the day, where you challenge everyone who you think is strong and you build muscle from sparring and everything like that. So he's gonna be that typical warrior, and he's gonna be pretty strong, just like the main character in solo leveling and his father, just like him. But instead of going into dungeons, he's actually going to be fighting people, because I'm not going to give another person the ability to go through dungeons and defeat monsters and stuff. So let's say his father is pretty freaking strong. He's probably going to be on the number 2 or number 1 hero tier ranking system. So let's just say, because of the story or the anime's sake, let's say give Deku's father the quirk fire breathing, but his physical strength is nothing to joke at. So let's move on from his father to Deku again. So 10 months later, Deku has been a monster. He's actually gone to those quests where he fights those, or the job changing quest, what I mean, and he did change his job, and he's now a Shadow Lord. That's what I meant to say, not a Shadow Monarch or anything. I read a different translation solo leveling recently, and it said Shadow Lord on it, so I'm just gonna go with the easier one to say. So Shadow Lord it is. So he's gonna be a Shadow Lord from now on, and he's just gonna be saying that's his quirk now. He's not gonna say he's not necromancy. He can't. Well, he can, but he doesn't want to make them scared or anything, because he can't, like, he can necromance, but he doesn't want to make them scared, because they might think he's gonna turn them into their puppets or something. So he's just gonna say, I can create shadow creatures, and they're totally not any other people, or they're not people at all. They're just my shadow creations that I created. So yeah, I'm also gonna be naming the same exact knights and all the other magicians that the main character in solo leveling had. They're the exact same person, because it was in different dimensions and they're dungeons. So I think they just linked the two worlds together, and that's how Deku was able to use that, or get those Igris or Tank or Tusk, and yeah, those kind of creatures. So he's allowed to do that. I don't know about Tank. No, I don't know about Iron, because he was actually a human from the solo leveling world. But if somehow a human ends up trapped in that dungeon and he ends up finding a human, well, he could do it to that. But for right now, he's gonna be getting the Red Knight to make him his personal knight and basically resurrect him. So he says arise like 2 times, and then on the 3rd try he's like, forget about the throne and forget about the person who's already left, come protect me instead, the person who's right in front of you. And he said arise, and Igris arose, and he also gave him the name Igris and made him his personal knight. So he comes out and basically actually opens up to his mother and basically tells him his abilities, because he wants to make it super convincing. He's like, Mom, I've been hiding this ability because I think it's kind of scary, but I want you to support me on this journey and making me a hero. So he opens up and lets the gate flow, and his shadow creatures come out of his shadows, and his mom is really scared, but then she gets used to it because she finds out that they're pretty nice and they actually have some personality to them. So it's kind of fun, and there's like, okay, these guys will protect you, so I won't worry about villains attacking you ever again. Go be a hero. I give you my blessing. So Deku trains. 10 months pass. He has the abilities. He's got a pretty good hang on it, and he has also figured out that if he increases his intelligence, which is already pretty high compared to the main character in Solo Leveling, if he increases that, and he ends up defeating 2 birds with 1 stone, because he gets to be smarter in the theory exam, and not only that, he can control more and create more creatures or more shadows, if his intelligence is high. But not really, it's not directly linked, it's more indirectly linked, because intelligence increases his magic power, and magic power is better for his Shadow Lord ability. So that's how it's indirectly linked. So if he increases his intelligence, his magic power increases, and he gets to use more shadow creatures. So yeah, that's how it works. And I learned that from chapter 81, the latest one, just yesterday I think it came out. So I read that, and if you haven't read it, there's a link in the previous part to a website where it actually has more chapters for Solo Leveling. So go there, read up to chapter 81 if you haven't already, and yeah, wait for the part 3 of this. And that's it guys, that's like 11 minutes. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and as always, Anime Junkie out.